Hello and welcome to episode SW19 of the Bad Psychics podcast. As you may have guessed from that number, this is our Wimbledon episode for the year. Eloise is already giggling.
You sound so fucking sad.
I am sad. I'm basically a puddle.
Oh dear.
But yeah, this is our Wimbledon episode. It's probably going to take forever. I'm going to get increasingly irritable as it gets more and more humid. As always, I am joined by a couple of idiots. I predict that if she manages to curse another unseeded player like she did to Dimitrov, that we should burn her as a fucking witch. It's Eloise. Who are you cursing this year?
I don't know. Does it have to be unseeded? Because I'll happily curse Novak.
Fair. That works. You're just gonna, yeah, but I can't envisage you going, oh my god, Novak's winning, and then him getting injured literally 30 seconds later, like you did to Dimitrov.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm on the apology tour.
Yeah, fair. And then I predict that he's a massive fan of Nick Kyrgios, because just like Kyrgios, his balls are out most of the time too. It's Sean.
Great.
Pretty fair assessment.
It was either that or a massive fan of Yannick Sinner, because, you both burn when you try and touch grass. It was one or the other.
Yeah, the burning when touching grass is definitely true.
Yes.
Being pale and ginger does that to a fella.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm just gonna say it now. If I come anything other than last in this, I'll take it.
Yeah. Sean has, very kindly given us a third for the episode. His tennis knowledge is limited, but at least probably better than Eloise's basketball knowledge. So there is that.
Yeah, I did the same thing for the NBA one.
I will put this out there. My NBA knowledge would be worse than Eloise's.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's a good job it's a good job I wasn't in the NBA one.
Yeah, I mean, at least Eloise will always do like her strong research. It was just once research, she'll forget that she needs to pay any attention to the event she's researched and be useless on the results show.
Yeah.
Kindest thing you've ever said about me.
Yep.
The one question I've got asked, and whilst we're quickly talking about the NBA one, who's gonna have to end up doing what Chuck did for the Knicks and talking great when they really don't like them?
I mean, me if Zverev wins, probably.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah. Anyway, it's too fucking warm, so let's just get on with it, because the less time I'm here, the happier I'll be. And Eloise has already said I sound sad, so... Anyway, very similar to last year's, if you watch that episode, we'll be predicting the men's draw, the women's draw, and as always, some miscellaneous nonsense. Let's jump to our spreadsheet in a whole. And we are going to start with the men's draw. So we are going to be predicting, first of all, the winners of the 8 sections, then just losing semi-finalists, losing finalist, and winner. Also, jokers are back in play for this episode, similar to the golf episode. If everybody has 1 joker per sheet, and any points they earn from their joker are doubled. And you cannot joker your bonus when it comes to that, because someone always considers it. Right, let's kick off with section 1 of the men's draw. I suspect this might be pretty obvious. Yeah. And we are kicking straight off as well with a joker. Always, you are wildcarding Sinner to get through his section. Any doubts at all?
I mean, surely not, because it's Sinner. I know he lost in the French Open quite early, but yeah, I mean, looking at what he has to come against, honestly, unless there's suddenly a player that I'm not regarding that it could beat him, no until the 4th round, and even then I don't think it'd be as much of a challenge. I won't talk about any of the other players yet, but yeah, it just feels very open Sinner for me. No, I wasn't in doubt, so I played it very safe with the Joker.
That's fair. I think for me, probably. I mean, obviously, I agree that he most likely gets out of this section. I do think it is genuinely partially his gingerness, as joked about, that he does struggle when it's hot. Like,
Sure.
so there is always a possibility of a French type episode where he just cramps, gets ill. That to me, I think, is the biggest threat. Sean, anything to add on your fellow ginger?
I mean, from looking at the way the bracket has gone, I think it's like the highest seed he's got is like to potentially play until like the quarterfinals is the 14th seed.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
he should get through that. Potentially without. I mean, I'm gonna go a little bit optimistic here, but potentially without even dropping a set. Especially if a couple of the seeds do get knocked out early.
I mean,
it could be potential for that.
Yeah, I will say, for me, his biggest threats actually aren't the seeds. I think potentially if only if he's having like a bad health day, because he has had them before at Wimbledon, including against Dimitrov before Eloise cursed him. I think maybe Vukic or Brooksby, if they have a good day and he's struggling, one of them could do something. I also think Shapovalov in the 4th round potentially. He's very streaky. Like if he makes the 4th round, he's probably in form. Maybe could do something, but I think it's unlikely. So let's move on. We come to section 2. Let's see what everybody's gone for. Interesting. Okay, we get our first point of difference. Sean, you've gone for the highest seed in the section, which is Medvedev. Any rationale other than he is high seed?
Pretty much he's the highest seed. In when I was putting the sheet together and building my bracket, I did have him up against Rude, I believe, in like the 4th round.
Okay.
So it was a toss up between like him and Rude, but I just thought probably just being the higher seed just gives him the slight edge for me.
But Eloise, you and I have both gone for Tommy Paul. I'll let you speak on Tommy Paul and see if I have anything to add.
Yeah, the once again, like some of these players in this section don't seem too great grass players, which is my concern with like a Rude, because he doesn't have, if I remember correctly, too much. He hasn't won too much on grass, so it felt like a no-brainer Tommy Paul here, because Tommy Paul is just seems to be very good on grass and just seems to be a quite a bad player to go up against in these kind of tournaments. I had Medvedev losing in the third round because it's Medvedev. As you always say to me with the Russian players, is they're very, very inconsistent, and Medvedev's very much one of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have who does I have going all the way to the fourth round? I had Nakashima, who's the American, who seemed to have a really good grass form as well coming into this. But no, Tommy Paul very much went to the final of Queens, if I remember correctly. Final of Queens is also just a handful in all these grass tournaments. So yeah, he should go do quite well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple of bits to add. Medvedev, I do think there is a chance that Sean is right. Like, I don't think it's impossible. Maybe as basically tennis has a syndrome known as Russian brain syndrome. Just trying to predict any Russian player in the men's or the women's.
Yeah,
absolutely pointless, because if you predict them to do well, they'll lose in the first round. If you predict them to do badly, they'll win the whole thing. Russian brain syndrome is only outweighed by the lesser spotted Greek brain syndrome. Because, you know, like Stefanos titty piss makes even the Russians look sane and stable. Medvedev, I think there's a chance he makes the fourth round. I also think there's actually a chance he loses in round one, because Cilic is a horrible first round draw. He is getting on, but like he still occasionally remembers that he's a very good player and like pulls wins out of anywhere. And I do agree that Nakashima will challenge him if the two seeds get that far. Rude, I'm not a big Rude fan because grass is my favourite surface, and Rude has said that grass should only be for cows.
Okay, I was right then. He doesn't like grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually think the biggest threat to Paul in his half of the section is probably Rude's first round opponent, Hubcatch. So we'll see.
For sure.
On to section 3. See if we all agree or disagree. We all disagree. Interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, let's start with Sean, who's gone for Felice Auger-Aliassime. I am assuming because he big seed.
A little bit of that, and a little bit because I liked his name.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Like it's a cool name. So I thought, why not? I did notice Cam Norrie, was in this part of the draw.
Yeah.
And so was tempted to follow my blind patriotism that has served me horrendously in the past on these, and go for the Brit. But yeah, I saw a really cool name, and I was like, yeah, we'll find it. We'll find a way to. And he's also high seeded, so he must be good, because that's how seedings work, right? They're not some form of popularity contest.
I mean, I agree in theory. I have been saying for many months, I have no idea how Auger-Aliassime is seated so high, because every time I see him, he's shit. Like he must win a load of useless tournaments I don't watch, because
probably.
I just don't get me wrong, if he turns up, I'm being harsh. He has his moments of being exceptional. They're just far between, considering how much talent he has. I've gone for Norrie, not out of any patriotism that Sean might have chosen him, but just the thing with Norrie is that he almost seems to build his game around slams. Like he'll have rotten form and then overperform at a slam, and it seems to be a repeated pattern. And I just I don't have any faith in Felice. I don't have faith in Grass for TM. And I understand why Eloise has chosen Davidovich for Kina, and I'll let her talk on it shortly. I just also don't think that Sarandolo in the first round is the easiest draw. I think if he gets past that, there's a very reasonable chance that she's right. I think that Nori most likely playing back-to-back qualifiers in his first 2 rounds just made me a bit more confident that he'd at least put himself in a position to win the section. But
gives him a chance to build up form then, don't it, if he's playing 2 qualifiers?
Exactly. Louise, Davidovich Fokina?
Yeah, so I have 4th round. I have Nori versus Davidovich Fokina. Yeah, I think Nori will do a really good run. Will beat Felix. I'm not gonna butcher that bloody name.
I mean, you didn't even say his first name right. But...
it's spelled like Felix.
It's spelled like Felix, but it's Felice.
Oh.
I was gonna say, is it like Christmas? Is it like Feliz Navidad?
Oh Jesus! All right. Anyway, yeah, he seems to be really good at grass. Alejandro. I had a look at some of the tournaments he was in. He's currently still in Mallorca. The semi of that should be played as we speak, really. He lost in the quarters of Queens to Tommy Paul, who's obviously really good. So I just feel like this kind of side will open up for him with Felix Auger are the same, like, knocked out. I'm not saying that ever again. And then his side looking pretty okay with, I'm not expecting Tien to go any further than the second round. So yeah, I mean his first match does suck, but after that it should be better. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a risk for me going for, such a low seed compared to, going for the higher seeds, but I have an inkling that this might work out.
Fair. Let's move on to section 4, see whether we are. My guess is we're going to be back in agreement. Yep. I'm playing my Joker here. As much as I hate to say it, I think Djokovic has been given an incredibly favourable section. The seeds, you've got 2 that prefer clay, and you've got Rublev, who is also afflicted with Russian brain syndrome. And I just don't really know. And unless Titty Piss pulls off his, one stupidly long run per year that appears to pop out of nowhere every so often, I don't know. I don't really know who's challenging him. So I'm playing my Joker here. I'm gonna try and get some easy points on the board and hope for the best. Eloise, anything to add?
So this is very open. I agree. I'm not too confident with Fonseca. We got multiple Russians, so we don't need to care about those. I have going all the way to the 4th round and losing to Novak. I have Rinky Hijikata. The Aussie looks. I mean, how did he do? It was. Yeah, he lost Queens against Ugo and Bear, who's really good. Lost to TFO, who's really good at Stuttgart. So I have a sneaky feeling he could have a nice little run. because it's very open. I feel like he can beat Fonseca, he can beat Rublev, and then we'll lose to Novak. But yeah. So that is what I've got going on there. But everyone else is pretty meh, and it's very easy for Novak.
Fair. Sean, anything to add?
Is it Novak still chasing what his 25th career Grand
Yeah.
Slam?
Yeah.
Which would be a pretty darn good achievement. So, I think he's gonna be fired up for it. He's he's won, is it 4 or 5 Wimbledon titles?
I want more than that.
I think I know he's won multiple.
7.
7, okay.
Yeah.
So he obviously likes it at Wimbledon. So yeah, I think the only thing that might catch up with him is if he can't if he can't play to the levels that he's been at before, rather than, from the sounds of it, the side of his draw.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely does tend to cramp up a bit more these days. He's still a fit man for a almost 40-year-old, but time is, an impossible thing to conquer. I will say, so far, Sean has gone for the top seed in each of the 4 sections. I will be interested to see if this changes as we go to section 5. No, it doesn't, and we're all in agreement. Dominor, Sean, just big seed.
Cool. Another cool name.
Okay, fair.
That was. It's not one of the names when I was looking through. There's a fair few names that I know. From when I did watch like a lot of tennis back in like the Federer, Nadal, Murray, Djokovic sort of era, when they were all in their pomp. But yeah, but yeah, cool name.
Eloise.
Yeah, so I've him very much getting out of this section. I think if I remember correctly, he's had good grass tournament success. I know he got to the final of Herteg Bosch, which was against I don't Maj Kazak.
Are you meaning the player that's in this section?
Yes.
Meshrak.
Fucking Polish names. All right. Meshrak. Okay, yeah. So I have them in the 3rd round to get against each other, and I feel like it will be very close because he seems to be really good on grass, Meshrak. So yeah, and then I think I've got. I have a Russian in the final, Kachanov, because I had no clue how to predict him as he's Russian. And then anything else I want to talk about? Kabuli, I don't really have much confidence on. Bellucci is cool, I suppose. And Petri Pericard will win a game and then lose a game. But he's got a really cool serve, doesn't he? Whoa.
What's so cool about his serve?
It's very powerful, speedy.
It's massive.
Yeah, he's got. You probably do need to see his serve because his serve's really good, and then the rest of his game is pretty mid.
He's got a cannon of an arm, basically. He's hitting aces or he's losing the point.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I think last year, I want to say he was playing Fritz, and literally the first point of the match he pulled out an 152-mile-an-hour serve.
Yeah, that's quite quick. I don't want to be hit. I think if I think that came near my way, I'd just jump out of the way of it if I even saw where the ball was going.
Yeah.
Weren't they? Didn't he do wasn't he in a very long tiebreaker last year at Wimbledon? Am I remembering this correctly?
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah. For me, I think Dimonor going to be really happy that he's not in Sinner's side of the draw, because Dimonor cannot beat Sinner. Just one of the worst, most one-sided records in the entirety of tennis. I agree that I think Meshrak is the like biggest threat to him in his little mini section, and then for me, I think in the bottom bit, Caboli's come on a lot this year. It will be interesting to see whether that translates to grass improvement at all. I couldn't back him though. Kachanov has Russian brain syndrome. I probably would say if I had to bet on anyone to be the fourth round match, I probably would go Pechikarikar. Just because on grass he's almost impossible to return against.
Yeah.
If he's unless he's having a bad day. Like even his second serve is ridiculously hard. So right. Let's go to Section 6. Are we all in agreement?
Okay.
All the ways that I
I
thought.
wasn't expecting that.
Okay, so Sean's drunk. I mean, I don't. Talk about Wawrinka, Sean.
He's a name I know and I've
There we
heard
go.
of before.
Okay, fine. He's a name you know.
And he was. I know he's unseeded, but I can't remember how old he is. But I just
41.
thought, why not?
This is literally. He's been given a wild card because it's his final season. Like he's basically just doing like a.
He's doing a farewell tour basically.
Exactly. He's doing a farewell tour. His first round match is against a former Wimbledon finalist.
Yep.
And his likely second round, if he did manage to win, is against Feast, who's pretty good on grass. I like. Put it this way: if you said if you'd have said Wawrinka will make the quarterfinals as your bonus, it would be bordering on a Mal style. I will let you win the episode. It's almost that close. There is very little chance.
Look, we're here. We're here for a miracle now. We're all aboard the Wawrinka train.
Yeah. Fine. Eloise, do you have Wawrinka winning a match?
No, I have Wawrinka losing to Berrettini.
Okay. And then you've gone for my favourite player, Ben Shelton, but I'll let you talk about the section.
Yeah, I'll let you talk more about him himself, but yeah, there is a few interesting things here. Feast, I'm not sure. I don't know why I had losing first round, but I wasn't too convinced by what I saw. But if he is good on grass, then I just saw wrong. Because I think he went to the fourth round in 2024, so maybe that is where I should have saw that and maybe thought he'd win at least a match. But yeah, Ugo and Bear's there, which Ugo and Bear's great. But unfortunately, he'd go against Shelton third round, and I don't think he wins that. We've got Mensick, who I don't think is good on grass. And then Berrettini he's solid, but I have going all the way to the fourth round Dimitrov, because part that I think he's good, and also I cursed him last year. I said, oh, he's gonna win against Sinner, and then I don't know what he injured, but he injured something bad. And yeah, it's all my fault. I cursed him. And I'm on my Dimitrov apology tour, and I'm very much hoping he does well, but that might just be me trying to be biased. Is there anything else I have to say about Shelton? Well, I'll let you talk more about Shelton, but I know he won Stuttgart before this in a quite good final, which is a good matchup with Fritz. So yeah, I'll let you talk more about Shelton.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, just to reiterate, that Eloise last year said literally 60 seconds before Dimitrov tore a pectoral muscle
That's it.
and was out for 5 months that he was about to win. So, you know, I think, yeah, you should be on the
That
apology
is
tour.
top tier level cursing.
Yes, genuinely impressive. As you say though, Shelton just won Stuttgart. It was his first grass title, which is a surprise because he generally does well on grass. I think he's very confident at the moment. Traditionally, Fritz has been the US #1 for quite some time, and Shelton's finally taken it off him. He just beat him in a final, so he's he's reached that point where he's like the best American player, and I think he's trying to get himself into a position where I think the next goal is to be the best North American player. In many ways, I'd say he kind of already is, but technically it's Felice. So I think it should be a good tournament for him. Next, we come to section 7. See if we've all gone for the same person. Yep. For me, certainly. I mean, I feel sorry for Jack Draper.
Oh, don't get me started.
Like, Draper's been out injured for ages. Could really have done with a kind Wimbledon draw. At least, you know, getting an easy match and maybe get like a clay quarter as the seed in his like first couple of rounds. No, he got Taylor Fritz. And honestly, it was my biggest reason to doubt putting Fritz is that I do think Draper is that good when he's fully fit. That I think he's a Draper when he was at his peak pre-injury. I think would have kicked Fritz's ass. But I don't think he's fully back yet. So I've got to go Fritz. And beyond that, there's just a lot of, being blunt, there's a lot of head cases in his section that could beat him, but also could pull an absolute shocker.
I was quite surprised when I didn't see that Draper had a seed. So that kind of makes sense if he's been out injured, because he was. I was going to put him to beat Fritz, just because I know of Jack Draper, but obviously I didn't want to then put blind patriotism when I saw he wasn't seeded.
Yeah, no, he had a long time arm issue. There was bruising on the bone, I believe, and just basically every time he tried to come back, he'd maybe have like one good tournament, and then the pain would get too much again. It seems like, touch wood, because I do like Draper, he's getting back to fitness. I think it's a little too soon though, but maybe next year he'll get back towards his peak, because this time last year he was ranked number 4 in the world, so hopefully he can get back there. Eloise, anyone troubling Fritz for you?
So obviously the Draper match sucks because he's just coming back, trying to find form. He is still in Eastbourne. The semi-final of that should be starting soon against Ugo and Bear, which would be very interesting because obviously Ugo's very good. So if Jack wins that, then I might get worried for for Fritz. But yeah, I think Fritz, that will be a tough game, and then he'll just have to cruise through the rest. I've got Bonzi in the third round for Fritz, and because Bonzi seems pretty decent on grass. And then on the other side, I often find I root for TFO. I don't know why I root for TFO. He just seems like a nice guy from what I know, and I like watching TFO. So I've got him all the way to the fourth. But he does also he seems really good on grass, but is also really inconsistent if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So on his good day, TFO could go all the way to quarters, but he's not often on his good day. And I've got Bublik third round, which might be generous because I know Bublik's not amazing on grass. And then yeah, nothing else too interesting. But yeah, it'd be nice to see TFO, do that instead of Fritz. But yeah, I've got an All-American fourth round here.
Yeah.
Genuine question: do you both of you genuinely believe right now that there is a slim chance that Draper could beat Fritz?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is.
Slim chance for me.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
slim.
I think my big issue with it is that he's not going to be able to beat him easily unless Fritz has a really bad day. And I just think that a 5-set match, which would probably be how it would have to be, I think it might be too early in his fitness recovery.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, as much as I'm really pleased to see him doing well at Eastbourne, I actually think it might be a bit of a downside for him to have had so many matches in the week before as well. So I think he would need Fritz to have a bad day and to be able to get it done, I'd say, in 4 sets tops. But ideally, he'd need Fritz to have a bad enough day that he could win in straight sets, because I think a 5-set match is too much for him at the moment.
Okay.
I agree.
But yeah. Yeah, the other half is just 2 head case seeds. TFO, lovely guy, but wildly inconsistent.
Yeah.
Jeter's met him and has confirmed he is a lovely guy.
Not.
And Bublik is an absolute psychopath.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
I mean, the fact that Bublik and Kyrgios are playing doubles together is
my god!
Like
Wow.
I don't know who's at most threat. Their opponents, the umpires, the crowd, each other, like that.
Just Joey Barton and Kieran Dyer style, just start fighting each other just midway through the match.
It's not. It's just yeah. Absolute madness.
Just a full-on scrap in the middle of the court.
Absolute insanity.
They very much might need to get a replacement umpire because one of them probably throw a racket at them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's incredible. That's incredible.
That should have been my bonus.
No, I did consider making.
Umpire gets replaced in one of their doubles matches.
No, well, they wouldn't get replaced if you attacked an umpire. You'd be disqualified. But I did consider going for the real long shot of Bublik and Kyrgios will be disqualified in the doubles. But yeah. Right, let's go on to section 8.
Escorted out of the court in handcuffs.
Yeah, for sure. Section 8. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, let's start with Eloise. I kind of hope you're right.
Yeah, me too. So for context, obviously Zverev is Zverev. He seems to be in really good form at the moment. But I'm never convinced with him on grass. I'm never convinced with him in general. He very much every moment could have lost Roland Garros, but didn't.
I mean,
the reason
he's of like Russian heritage, so I think he has half Russian brains.
Oh, I class him as Russian. I don't care.
He was born in Germany.
But he's Russian. Anyway,
He has Russian blood flowing through his veins. He gets half
Sure.
Russian brain syndrome.
okay, fine. He's half. Okay, sure, fine. The only reason I gone with Cerundolo here is because he won Queens and seems to be in pretty good form. And I mean, another outside threat that easily could win this over Zverev is Lehetka. But apart from that, I don't see anyone else. I mean, I like Quentin Moutet, but yeah, it's probably Cerundolo will bust here. That's why I've gone with him. But yeah, Queen's winner. So that is a very good sign going into Wimbledon.
Sean,
In my bracket I scrambly put together, I did have Lehetka versus Zverev.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If Lehetka gets there, I'm not going to be disappointed because he has a cool name and he sounds like a great. I'd love to have that as a name, Lehetka. Be great.
I'm pretty sure it's Lehetska for the record,
Oh,
but
probably.
I don't
Probably.
care. I'll butcher everyone's bloody name.
Butchering people's names is part of being British.
Exactly.
but yeah,
Butchering people's names and getting drunk on the Spanish coast.
But yeah, I think Sarandolo is probably the most likely. Like grass is Zverev's weakest surface by a mile.
Yeah.
But I just kind of go, especially coming off the French Open. I just have this nasty feeling that he's going to have been like unleashed. You know, like it feels like having spent ages chasing a slam. Now he's finally got one. He's going to go for it, and also like.
Could the shackles come off of him a little bit then?
Exactly, and it's like he's not terrible on grass. Like his big breakthrough moment was beating Federer on grass for his first ever to make his first ever final in Halle in like 10 years ago. Like it's not like we're talking about a complete. You know, it's not rude where he just cannot play on grass. It's just a weaker surface. I think he's probably going to have too much for his section. Anyway, we're going to come to predicting the final four now, starting with our losing semi-finalists. So, we'll do losing semi-finalists first. Keep your finalist and your winner to yourselves for now, but like talk me through the makeup of your like how your semi-finalists are getting on. Interesting. We've all gone very different. Sean, I'll let you start. Sinner and Dominor losing in the series.
Yeah, so I had Dominor getting through his section and ending up beating Wawrinka because the fairy tale ends at the quarterfinals. And then Sinner obviously gets past Medvedev. And then and then to like get him through. And then I don't know why, but I feel like maybe getting towards the end of it, the Gingerness and Sinner would finally catch up with him.
Yeah. I mean, it might be in another heat wave. I think the hotter it gets, the more Sinner's at risk. So, Eloise, you've gone Djokovic and Fritz.
Yeah. So I have Djokovic beating Davidovich Fokina,
Hmm.
and then he loses his semi, and then I have Fritz beating Cerundolo and then losing his semi as well. Yeah, it's I I have a feeling that my semi is probably very obvious with only both of them, to be honest, because both of them be really good matches. But with Djokovic definitely. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything more, so I'll leave it there.
Fair. I've gone Djokovic. I think Djokovic is going to have too much for Nori, but you know. And then Shelton. Dominor, I think, is just one of those players that always seems to make the quarters and then lose. So I think Shelton beats him. Let's do our finalists and winners at the same time because it should be reasonably obvious. Okay, there we go. Interesting. So Sean, I'm not going to explain to those at home unless we have to on the review exactly what we've agreed for the point scoring for Sean's Joker here because we're adapting the rules a little bit for him based on his prediction here. You've got Djokovic beating Zverev in the final.
Yeah, I have put Zverev as the Joker because in my bracket, I think that Zverev is I'm backing Zverev to get to the final. And I think that's more of the one I'm would be more certain on if I had to predict out of the two semis that I've got
Mm-hmm.
of who wins.
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas Djokovic versus Sinner for me is a bit more. I'm a little bit more going off of blind hope that I'd like to see Djokovic hit Slam 25. So I'm putting it through. Purely based on that. Against Sinner rather than necessarily maybe how form and how they've both the results against for both of them have been.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like Djokovic to win it if he makes the final, but because I'm not certain he's going to make the final, I don't want to back him, whereas I'm more certain Zverev will make the final from his side of the draw.
Interesting. Okay. Eloise, you've gone for Sinner beating Shelton in the final.
Yeah, so I assume our semis are the exact same Z. I just have so I have so in my draw I had Shelton beating de Minaur, because that would be God, that's a great one as well. And then I have Sinner beating Paul because I think it'd be close, but yeah, I feel like he falls at the quarters. And then yeah, my semis are Sinner Djokovic, which is tasty, and I think Sinner wins that. That feels like the kind of kind of pass the torch, kind of Djokovic just fuck off. I don't know. I very much can't wait until Djokovic leaves the sport, and then yeah, the All American semi final. Yeah, I mean, I and and took a while deciding who I think would win this. I still don't fully know if I know, but I feel like Shelton seems in slightly more form, and I feel like if he doesn't have any injury issues that I knew he was kind of had little injuries last year, I feel like he could get to the final. He's not beating a Sinner in the final because I'm playing it very safe and going Sinner wins lol because I want points. If it does happen, it's the most likely one. So, but yeah. So that is my rough thoughts of what I think is going to happen. But Sinner, I couldn't go anything but Sinner because I just want to play it really safe.
That makes sense. As you said, our semis are exactly the same. I've just gone for Fritz beating Shelton. Not even. I think it's such a line ball call. I agree Shelton's in better form, but I think Fritz maybe has more experience of that
Yeah.
level of match, to the point where I'm so 50-50. I went for Fritz because if Shelton wins, I can still be happy if Fritz wins. I like Fritz. I'll be happy for either of them to be in a final, but Shelton's my favourite. So I just, if in doubt, I never back what I want to happen because it makes me sad if it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'd rather take the points for the alternative. But yeah, that is our men's side of the draw. Let's jump across as soon as I've checked my notes to the women's side. See where we've all put our jokers and stuff on this side. Will Sean have once again gone for basically the top seeds and one moment of lunacy, or will this be different? Okay, so obviously starting in section 1 with the first seed section, do we all have her going through? Yes, we do, and Eloise has unsurprisingly gone and put her joker on Sabalenka. I mean, as you've jokered her, I'll let you start.
Yeah, it's Sabalenka. She'll at least get to the quarters. Though I feel like if form and I always find it hard to bet. Like I always think, oh yeah, Naomi Osaka's gonna do well, and then she always messes up somehow when I predict her. So I very much played it safe for Sabalenka. It might be at that in the fourth round, but I'm not sure. I won't go into too much on the others to let you talk about them, but I was very upset when I saw a certain Raducanu chucked in at this part of the draw. But yeah, this should be pretty straightforward for Sabalenka if she doesn't mess up somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, anything to add?
I almost did back Raducanu just because I thought it would be good. And I know she has been in okay-ish form. So there might have been potential for an upset, but I don't think Sabalenka will. I think Sabalenka will have too much for her. I also wanted to back Osaka to get through, and I've got her making the fourth round, but again, I just think Sabalenka will have too much for her.
Right. Okay. I am in many ways going to be slightly contrarian here. I've gone Sabalenka not because I'm that convinced that she does get through, but because I think this is a really hard section of draw to predict. Like, I really don't believe that it's especially easy, and my logic is, if I'm really that in doubt, play it safe. I think Raducanu turning up. I can't. And I will. My other contrarian point. Can't stand Raducanu. Think she's a petty little brat. But
Yeah, the way she fires coaches like every 3 months is ridiculous.
and that's coming from Sean, who's a Chelsea fan. So I
think she goes through more coaches than Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't like Raducanu, but I just don't. I can't count her out in Wimbledon. Wouldn't surprise me if she goes on a run and takes out Sabalenka. I don't think it's impossible. Equally, Harriet Dart. There's always one British wild card who does something insane. I don't think it will be Dart, but it could be. Ostapenko just withdrew from the semis in Eastbourne, I think, maybe Birmingham. One of the Gross events. She's just withdrawn. Eastbourne, just withdrawn injured. But if it wasn't for that, I would very much have considered at least Ostapenko getting through that half, because like her record on grass is fairly decent. And then in the other half of the draw, you've got Kasatkina, who's made the quarters of Wimbledon before, and I still think is a very decent player. And you've got Osaka, who's just made her first ever final on grass in Austria. So like I genuinely think there are lots of players who could come through this section, but there's so much choice that I'm playing it safe because I figured everybody else would, and I kind of don't want to lose points if it just goes the obvious way. But yeah, not as sure as you two are at all.
I mean, I didn't say I was completely sure. I said that Naomi Osaka would be tough in the fourth round. I also have Ostapenko going the third round if she was fit. So I have her beating Raducanu. So yeah, it's not easy. It's just it's Sabalenka.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have joked to Sabalenka. I think that's bold, but I understand why you've done it.
I decided to do a theme.
Okay. Right, let's go on to section 2. Interesting. I'm the odd one out on this one. You two have both gone for Andreeva. Sean, just big seed.
It was a little bit of a toss-up. Because I know Machova is the 10th seed.
Mukova.
So I didn't know. I do think in one of the sections there will be an upset. But I just don't necessarily know if it will be this one or not. So I just kind of gambled on playing it safe with the highest seed on this one.
Eloise?
This one sucked to predict. Absolute just a nightmare to figure out who on earth would get out of this. I'm hoping Andreeva would maybe, suddenly find more form after winning the French Open, but I don't know. I have this as a rematch of the final of that, but then I don't know if that will happen. And the Czech name that I'm not going to butcher, she could also do really well as you've predicted. This one sucks. Also Krejcikova also. Oh yeah, I'm not confident in this one bit, but Andreeva seemed like the safest bet, like Sean said, so I just went with it.
Yeah. I've gone Mukova mostly on the basis that I at least think her side of the section is more favourable to her. I don't see Swialinska getting as far. And then other than that, I'm not really too worried about any of the others. Like Swialinska, I just don't know what she's going to do on grass because she's obviously, barely played on it. Like she's just having her breakthrough. We don't know if it's a one-off or if, she's now just found something. But generally, I'm pretty confident that Mukova at the very least makes the third round. I don't see the rest, but like in the other section, I genuinely could see basically 6 of the 8 going through. I think Lynette is a difficult round 1 opponent for Andreeva. I do think Andreeva wins, but Klugman, I think it's probably too soon for her, but again, might not be. Krejcikova won Wimbledon 2 years ago. I don't expect much from Bartin for that. Peyton Stearns, one of my favourite female players to watch. If she brings her A game, she has a game that's good enough to beat anybody. There are very few players who hit the ball harder than her. It's just the precision that tends to be lacking. Queen Wen, she's not great on grass, but she's got a good enough game that occasionally it works. And Sinyakova, very that first round matchup is very similar. It's two players who don't love grass, but their A game level, whilst maybe not coming out that often at the moment, is very good. So yeah, I think it will be Andreeva and Mukova probably, but I just think Mukova's probably the better grass player, but I'm not sure at all. Then we come to section 3. See what we've gone for. Again, I'm the odd one out. We've got 2 going for the top seed in the section. Sean, I'm going to start with you. Any particular reason for Pegula?
Again, higher seed.
Okay, fine. Louise?
It's just more experience in a Wimbledon, and as well as just, you know, she went all the way to the final in Berlin. And I don't know, I just think she's a really good grass player. And I have her going to the 4th round against Jovic, who also seemed like a good grass player, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so I've gone mainly with who I think's in form, and that's what I'd say. But yeah, it's a lot of these are so open. It's really hard to figure out. But yeah, I'll let you talk about the other options. But yeah, Pegula's it's feels like a safe bet for me. But yeah,
I will say, you say Pegula's really good on grass. It's her weakest surface.
but she's just good.
She is good, but like on hard, she wins 73% of her Grand Slam matches. She only wins 57% on grass.
Fair.
But yeah, I think Pegula, what she has going for her is that she at least has probably the easier side of the section. I think probably if anyone's going to challenge her, probably Yastremska, probably. I think Tatiana Maria, yes, she's unseeded, but she's very good on grass. She won, I think, Queens last year. She's just made the final this week in Eastbourne. She likes grass, and she's in form. I'm regretting it slightly, because if I was playing the numbers like I did for most of it, I would say Pegula's probably safe a bit, because I at least do think that she'll get to the 4th round. But whereas Maria, she has a tricky first game in Putintseva. Alexandrova is not bad, and then I think Ivy is like tipped to be one of the next big things, but I don't necessarily know how her grass game is. So I'm taking a punt on the player that I know loves grass the most in this section. So we'll see how it goes. Next we come to section 4. See if everybody goes the same here. Interesting. Okay, Eloise, you're the odd one out here. Talk to me about Belinda Bencic.
Yeah, so this is kind of a very a bit of a slight risk because she hasn't played on any grass this year. But from my knowledge, she seems quite good on grass, and obviously went all the way to the semis last year. I have a feeling with this bracket, it's a good chance because there's a lot of players that didn't seem too comfortable or too consistent. That's why I didn't go with Coco, because I've predicted Coco in the past, like last year, and very much she fell through for me. So I was like, no, I'm not going Coco. I'm going to be different. And we'll see if that works. But yeah, I feel like Belinda Bencic is a good shout. I just hope she doesn't slip up somewhere.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Sean, Goff.
I know Goff. I know she has a lot of inconsistencies.
Mhm.
Are you laughing at my pronunciation?
No. It just sounded like Z just called you a goth, and I found that really funny.
Yes, Sean's a goth. Yeah.
Sean's a goth. That's a new one for me.
He doesn't even need the white makeup. He's already pale enough.
Yeah, the white makeup will probably make me tanned. Yeah, I did have Bencic in when I was building, to like playing Coco, but I went with the name I know of more, and just hoping that the inconsistencies from the brief knowledge I know of her just don't come in until later on in the tournament.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think it's safe for me. Don't get me wrong, no draw is easy to predict, but I very much feel like Bencic Goff is going to be a fourth round match. Like, it doesn't. I looked through it and was like, those two will make the fourth round, and then it's just who wins that. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
Would you say it's a bit of a coin toss between the two of them?
It depends which Goff turns up. Goff is so wildly inconsistent. If Goff's game plays Bencic's best game, Goff wipes the floor with it.
Mm-hmm.
But Bencic is more consistent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't, you know. It depends. Yeah, very much depends who turns up. Right. Let's go to section 5. Oh, we got 3 different names.
Jesus.
Sean, you've gone Svitolina, just highest seed.
Yeah, and another name I've heard of and seen before.
Fair.
I don't know a lot about women's tennis, so I've been kind of playing it safe and just hoping that I'll just pick up points along the way.
Sure.
So, like I have more of I have more knowledge of the men's game purely because that's more of the stuff that's like brought like that I end up seeing in and around on like my like sports media feeds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so playing it safe a little bit.
No, fair enough. Eloise, you've gone Emma Navarro.
Yeah, it's my fourth round final is very much Navarro versus Vekic, because I just feel like those two are the most likely to come out on top in this bracket. Because yeah, in the bottom half of this section, I feel like Navarro is gonna be quite confident. She lost in the final of Nottingham. quarters of Bad Homburg. And I just feel like she is decent, so I feel like she can get all the way to the quarters, and then I'll let you talk about Donna Vekic. But yeah, as I mean, the reason I even considered her is because of Queens. So I just don't know if she would get to the quarters. But yeah, that I'll let you finish off.
Yeah, I mean, Vekic, uh, wildly inconsistent, and so this is another risk, but Wimbledon was traditionally her best slam. She made the semi-finals 2 years ago. She's in decent form. She likes grass. She's made, I think, 6 of her 15 career finals were on grass. I think for me, it wasn't a toss-up between Vekic and Navarro. For me, it was a toss-up between whoever wins out of Vekic and Svitolina. Like, I expect that to be a third-round match, and then I think whoever wins that. I Navarro can be good, but I mean, I said that in men's tennis it's Russian brain syndrome and Greek brain syndrome. In the women's side, it's still Russian brain syndrome, but it's also American brain syndrome. The Americans are just so wildly inconsistent, with maybe one exception. I would struggle to ever back Navarro, but I do agree that Wimbledon is probably her best slam. So, like, I'm not saying Eloise is wrong. I think this is, yeah, Navarro, Vekic, Svitolina. All three, I think, are reasonable shouts. But yeah. Moving on to section 6. Okay, again, we're all disagreeing. I mean, look, I'm gonna start. I'm no Serena Williams fan. I always just found her a bit bland as a character. But I do think that she's picked the right tournament to come back at. And whilst, yes, Swiatek is a very high seed, I just don't know that, like, grass is her favourite surface. I know she won last year, but even then, I was surprised she won last year. I just I don't really know what to predict from her, because with the exception of winning last year, she'd only ever made one quarter-final before that, whereas on all the others she'd made like multiple quarters and semis, and in the case of the French, won it 4 times. So and last year I predicted Iala to have a long run, and it backfired horribly on me, so I wasn't going to do that again. Speaking of which, Eloise, you've gone for Iala.
Yeah, I remembered you did that last year, and I was like, do I? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna risk it. I feel like she's coming into really good form. She won Birmingham. She got to the semis of Berlin. She seems to be quite comfortable on grass, which is more than a lot of these other players can say. So, yeah, I know it didn't come off last year, but I'm confident that a couple wins and she will very much just storm into the quarters. I think I have Serena winning a match and then just losing against Ayala, because I had a look and Serena's last 2 Wimbledon appearances have been first round losses, and I was like, just not confident whatsoever with Serena. And then on the other side, I've got Torsten going to the 4th round, but I'm not confident at all. I didn't want to. I had what tournament was it? It was the Hertogenbosch winner Montgomery. I have her going quite far, but I didn't want to predict her going all the way to the final of the 4th round. So I thought I'd play it safe there. But she seems like she'd be a nightmare to go against and could easily be a dark horse for this section. So, but yeah, it's a bit of a risk. But yeah, I've gone with Viola.
And then Sean, you've gone Swiatek. Just
I was very, very, very tempted to also go Serena Williams. Just because it's Serena Williams, but also I know she's not played a lot of tennis recently in like major tournament, like major slams and stuff like that. So I didn't know if that might affect her a little bit. So I have her playing Swiatek in my bracket, and Swiatek then being but it was between the two of them for who I thought made it. But I think Swiatek, given that she is also defending champ, probably might just have the edge over Williams.
okay.
But obviously, it's you're a year apart on what you were last year to this year, and a lot can change in that. So, but yeah, I think I just went for her purely because I don't know how Williams is gonna fare.
Fair enough. Next, section 7. Interesting. I have played my Joker here. I think that Amanda Anisimova has she has some like unfinished business at Wimbledon after last year. And I feel like at the very least the bad memories are only going to start kicking in if she makes it really deep. I think she at least gets through the section. She's good on grass. She's highly seeded. I think she's going to do well. However, I do understand why Eloise has gone for who she has, but before that, Sean, any other comment on Anisimova?
I had Anisimova against Keys as like my 4th round matchup. Just purely, I kind of in the brief sort of look at Wimbledon, I knew she got far last year. I couldn't remember where it was. So went for her just over Keys because of that.
And then Eloise, you've gone for Keys.
Yeah. So yeah, it might be a risk, but Madsen Keys is currently she's going to be in the final at Eastbourne. She seems to be in good form. I don't remember why I didn't go with Anisimova. Was I trying to be different? I don't know. But I also obviously didn't get the memo that Americans are inconsistent, considering how many I have going to the final 4, final 8. But,
I mean, I will say Anisimova was, when I said with maybe one exception, Anisimova's for me the exception. But...
Oh, true. Yeah, she's indeed American as well. But yeah, I feel like whoever wins that 3rd round between Anisimova and Keys should get to the final 8. I feel like that is pretty certain for me. But I think last year I played it a bit safe with all the big seeds, but it's a women's tournament. There's going to be chaos and shocks. So I mean, it's Wimbledon in general. It's going to be chaos and shocks. So I decided to play it a little bit more risky, but Yeah, I feel like she could do a deep run that she's kind of been needing to since 2023 was the last time she kind of got to the quarters. So yeah, we'll see.
Fair. And then the final section, section 8. Oh, I was genuinely expecting all three of us to have gone for the same thing.
Oh dear.
Eloise, you've gone for Buscova.
Oh, sorry. I just trying to get stuff up to remember why I've gone for her. Oh, okay. There we go. She won. She won Nottingham. There we go. So she's had a good grass results already this year. It was once again just a big, just kind of I don't want to be boring with Rebecca now, who doesn't seem. Is she consistent? I'm not sure. I
For us, she's pretty consistent.
I find it hard to tell with her, and then obviously her two tournaments she's had so far on grass has been she lost to Katie Bolter in the quarters at Queens, and then she lost to Iala in Berlin. So I was like, no, I'm gonna risk it with a player that has had good results so far on grass, and I went with Buzkova. So we'll see. I'm once again kind of risking it and kind of going against the grain with the big seeds because that just doesn't work in my experience.
How like I know obviously having some form going into slams is important, but how much is getting far in the tournaments like Queen's Eastbourne and Berlin, like that are right before the start of it, does it affect because of the amount of games that you've got to play at Wimbledon before, like, and then playing a lot of games in tournaments beforehand? Will that like impact them a little bit, like fatigue and stuff like that?
Very much depends on the player. If you're a
Mhm.
fitness player that you don't generally worry about that sort of thing, then match fitness and repetition is the most important thing. If you're somebody
Yeah.
who maybe struggles with fitness and is more touch, then maybe you sort of at least make sure you don't play the week before, have a rest. It very much varies from player to player.
Okay.
For me, Rebecca has played Wimbledon 5 times. She's never done worse than the third round, and she's had a quarterfinal, a semi-final, and won it in 2022. She's won 84% of her matches at Wimbledon across her career. I like Puskova's decent. I understand the logic. There are some seeds that I'm prepared to take a risk and back against. Rebecca and I can't. Even if I'm wrong, the numbers tell me that I'd be insane. But we'll see. It might work out for you. Sean, anything to add on Rebecca?
No, it was the highest seed. I did put Buzkova as like like a matchup before the final eight.
Okay.
But again, it's more because I didn't think Katie Bolter would get far enough to be in the conversation. Otherwise, I might have put her in there. But I just again with as I said earlier with the women's side of things, I know the women's side of the game is a lot more crazier than the men's, and I don't have necessarily the knowledge to be able to pick to sort of have a gamble and a guess at the wild cards to be able to throw in there. So just went with the safer options.
See, I will say, like, as generally, I entirely agree. Historically, the women's side has always been crazy. The last 2 years, I think the men generally lose more seeds than the women.
I don't remember what it was. I think last year they both just lost a million, and it was absolute just carnage. I don't know the year before, but I know last year both sides were just bad.
It feels like the players at the top of the women's game have become more consistent compared to the men. There's just not that. You've got Sinner and Alcaraz when he's fit, and then basically you're expecting that to be the final every time, and everybody else, when anything
Yeah.
can happen. Whereas the women, you sort of go, of the top 8 seeds at any given tournament, you probably expect maybe 6 of them to make it to the quarters. But we'll see. Right, let's see how our semis shake out. I have gone for Goff and Williams to lose in the semis. I think Goff probably beats Tatiana Maria. And I think Williams and Vekic was a tough one to. I kind of agree with the logic that Williams is probably either going to do nothing or do really well. I'm going for really well. Really well is going to be a theme of this. If it doesn't happen, I'm not winning this episode. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think the semis is probably as far as I can take her. Eloise, you've gone Pegula and Iala.
This just feels like I'm just rolling dice here. I truly do not know what would happen. I've got Yala on a really deep run, which is a risk, but yeah, I have her beating Navarro. I have Pegula beating Belinda Bencic. Yeah, I feel like both of them will have good tournaments if everything goes right, but I feel like I've played it very safe with the final, which we'll get to, but yeah, that is what I've got.
Okay. And then Sean, you've gone for Goff and Rebecca.
Yeah, I have Goff beating Pegula in the semi, the quarters even. Just purely because I think that's where one of the lower ranked of the top 8 seeds might knock a higher one out. And it was a toss up between there and then obviously I have Rebecca and I can't pronounce her name beating Anisimova purely just because the seed hierarchy, and I think that just might play a little bit of a part in that one.
Fair enough. And then let's reveal our finals. Interesting. I mean, you say you've gone safe, Eloise. I think predicting a Sabalenka Keys final. The Sabalenka bit I get, but predicting a Keys final is pretty ballsy.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm really confident about Madison Keys, and that's gonna bite me on the ass. But I'm really confident in Madison Keys for some reason.
So Keys is this year's Dimitrov, right?
No, I don't. I hope not. I mean, I've gone safe with Sabalenka winning because it's Sabalenka. It's hard to not bet against her sometimes. But yeah, so I have Sabalenka beating Andreeva and then Pegula, and then I have Keys beating Buskova and then Iala in the semi. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of rushed doing this, so it might not be the most sensible thing. But in my head, I have Madison Keys going far, so we'll see.
Okay. Sean, you've got Swiatek beating Sabalenka, and you're that confident you've joked it.
Yeah. I thought, why not back her to go back to back, and then I doubled down on it because I didn't know where to throw my joker in on this one. So I thought, if I'm gonna back somebody to win in a side of a bracket that I'm not really too confident or knowledgeable on, I might as well throw it on the person that I'm backing to win it.
Sure. And then I've gone for Anisimova to shed the failure of last year. I do think she's really good on grass, and I think she has to have a breakthrough at some point. And as much as Sabalenka's number one seed, she's not been getting the job done that well this year. Like I can't easily bet against her to make it there. But I think I definitely think that the winner comes from the bottom half of the draw. That's my strong prediction, is that whatever happens, the winner comes out the bottom half of the draw. But we'll see. All right, let's move on to our random miscellaneous section then. So to begin with, we're predicting the men's flop and the women's flop. You are predicting a seed to go out in, I think I said round 1, but I might have said round 1 or 2. You get some points if they go out at all, and if they are the highest seed to go out in I think round 1. I said
You said round 1 for the seed to be knocked out of for the flop.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they are the highest seed in each draw to get knocked out in round 1, you get extra points. So let's reveal both our men's and women's flops. Interesting. We've all gone completely different. I mean, yeah, I went Rude and Schneider. For me, on the women's side, I struggled to see someone who I thought was really liable to struggle, but I didn't want to go stupidly low because I wanted to at least give myself a chance of getting some big points. So Schneider at 15th against Lees. Like, Lees is not a terrible player. I don't know. I just gut feeling. I can't claim that one has the most thought I've ever given it. On the other side, Rude, I genuinely believe loses to Hurkacz in round 1. So, and I think 11th seed is a decent high seed to predict to go out. Eloise, you've gone Paolini and you've gone Tabilo, which you've jokered.
Yeah, I did Joker. Because I just didn't know where to put the Joker on this, and I didn't care where I put the Joker on this. So I was just like, okay, fine, you can have it. So yeah, so Tabilo has Camille, how do I pronounce his name again?
Moshrek.
Mujrak. And I feel like Mujrak wins that because Tabilo doesn't seem the most confident on grass. Lost his 2 first round games before this. So yeah, that was my prediction there. And then Paolini has Robin Montgomery, who I've already said before, is coming onto this looking pretty solid on grass, and I feel like just getting form and being someone who is good on grass compared to someone who isn't necessarily, bar 2024, isn't necessarily the best on grass. I feel like that could be a shock. With Tabilo, I was playing it safe, 20. I didn't want to go too high, and then 13's a little bit more risky, but we'll see.
Tabilo's 30 when I was looking at the thing, unless I'm wrong.
Yes, Tabilo's 30.
Then it was 30, and I played it really safe.
Okay.
Sorry, I had the number in my head. It was just wrong. But yes, I played it very safe then.
Fair. And then
I
Sean's gone even safer and gone for 31.
He sure has.
I completely forgot that the extra points for being the highest seed getting knocked out was a thing when I put him in when I put these people in my list, because I think on both sides of the draw when I was making it, I had higher seeds getting knocked out. So that's a silly on my part. Yeah, I was also filling it out quickly and looked at who one of my seeds were that I marked as being knocked out at a certain point, and then just put them in because I needed an answer in there.
What about no?
There's no rhyme or
change.
reason. It was
Okay.
literally for both of them. I threw a name in there that was a seed being knocked out. So if they end up being the highest, I have fluked my way to extra points there.
Fair enough. Next we come to men's drop and women's drop. This is how many seeds will be knocked out in the first 3 rounds. I did realise that I could have put this also as how many non-seeds make the 4th round, because it's basically just the same in reverse. But, whatever. I did it how I did it. So let's find out what everybody said. Okay, well, unless I confused my own wording, I think I'm winning these points. Because I'm pretty sure I said how many seeds would go out in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's where I've gone wrong because I've not read it properly.
And there's only 16 players left in round 4, which means there's going to be at least 16 seeds going out.
I thought it was the first round, so that's why I did what I did.
I read it as round 1 to 3, but maybe when I think I might have miscounted my things. Maybe.
Great.
I mean,
because I thought round 4. Yeah, No, I did. Did I count it right? Alright, so this is my.
I just mean
my first round winners.
From round 4 on, there's only 16 players left. If there's 16 players left and there's 32 seeds, then at least 16 have to have lost. But
So I'm looking at it, and I've got 17 for the men's, and that's the women's. I've missed one.
I sort of want to allow you to change your answers, because I don't really like, especially in Eloise's case where she misread the rule. At least,
yeah. I assumed last time it was 1 and 2. Last time I thought it was just 1, so I just had in my head it was 1.
Unless I'm missing a game where.
I mean, you physically must be, Sean. The answer you've given is mathematically impossible.
But then I'm struggling to figure out.
Alright.
Right, I'm gonna look at my.
Right. Eloise, would you like to change your answers?
Can I do it as fair as possible and not try to fuck anyone over or anything? Just add 10 to both of the numbers.
Add 10 to both the numbers.
Okay. If you want to do that, you can. Okay.
If that's what you want to do,
I'm not messing around even more than that. Just add 10 to the numbers. That'd be fine.
Okay.
22 wins. No seed.
Sean, do you want me to change your 15 to 16 so it's at least mathematically possible?
I'm just quickly recounting and going through to make certain I haven't missed. So right, you've knocked the seed out. You're through.
The only other
No,
thing I can
no.
think of is that you've counted seeds left and not seeds gone, and so it should be 70. That's the only other thing I can think.
No,
maybe you've done.
because the way I've done it for the men's is the same way where I've put my winners on each of my thing on my sheet, and
Uh-huh.
if there are seed left, I've put their seed number in, so I know, right, okay, and then highlighted in yellow where they've knocked out a seed at
Okay.
that point. So I'm just counting to make certain I haven't fucked up, basically. Jovic is there, Benčić is there. That's a no seed game.
Wait, so it's rounds up to 3, right?
No, so basically, at the round 4 point, the
Oh,
so in essence,
When there's 16
I've said
people
that the
left.
men's will drop 21, which is basically that I'm saying 11 out of the remaining 16 in round 4 will be seeds. And by saying 18 will drop from the women's, I'm saying 14 out of the 16 will in the women's will be seeds. So that's like next year I can probably just word it the other way round to make it easier, but I don't know.
So the Sakari is highlighted correct. That's the you make it through. Jesus in, you're in. Moskova is in. Okay, I know where I've messed up. Okay, so you're seed 15. So then
So what's
so you're then knocking out a seed there. So then that should then be 16.
okay?
So you're a seed, you're a seed, you're a seed.
So am I changing your 15 to 16?
Yeah, because I've got 16 players left and they're all seeded.
Okay, fine. 16.
Okay, yeah, I
Done.
just missed out the fact that Schneider was. I forgot to put Schneider as like seed 15 in my list. So when I'm going through my bracket, obviously I've then not clocked that.
Yeah.
Schneider's being knocked out.
That's fine. Right. So next we come to men's and women's runners. So this is for a non-seed who's going to make a run. The points are done on a factorial. So basically 1 point if they win their first match, and then you'll get 3 points if they win 2 matches, and 6 points if they win 3, and 10 if they win 4, and so on. So let's see who we've gone for. Okay. I mean, I'll start. I said that I thought Hurkacz beats Rude. I think Hurkacz, if he beats Rude, potentially makes at least round 4. Like, I'm sort of going for him to hopefully pick up 6 points, maybe. And I am jokering Serena Williams. I said I am committing very much today to Williams is going to have a good run. Just I don't know why. Just feel it in my blood. Same way Eloise feels a Madison Keys final, I feel a good Williams singles performance. We'll see how it goes. Eloise, you've gone Rinky Hijikata and Robin Montgomery.
I think I've talked enough about both of them, but
Okay.
yeah, I just they're both the ones that I've circled out that
You've got going
could
furthest.
go far. So yeah.
Okay. And then, Sean, you've agreed with me about Serena, and you've also committed to Stan Wawrinka.
Well, I committed to him getting far in my bracket, so I might as well just commit to him getting far fully.
I mean, you can hedge your bets. I realise I didn't, but you can hedge your bets.
I've never been a fan of hedging bets. I don't like sitting on fences because then I get splinters in my ass. Like, it's if I'm backing something, I might as well try and back it. I'm not going as crazy enough to throw a joker on it this far. As is put by my women's drop, I think 16 seeds make the fourth round. So none of my seeds make it past none of my unseeded make it very far. And I think, as I said, I was tempted to put Serena Williams to beat Swiatek. So I might as well put her because I think she'd possibly be the one that has the most likely out of the unseeded names I know of to go far.
Fair.
And yeah, and we're gonna back the Wawrinka fairy tale as much as we can.
Fair enough. Okay, next we come to a couple of numerical ones, which are always Eloise's favourite. How many final set tie breaks will there be? If Eloise is right, then so am I. And if Eloise is wrong, so am I. Sean's gone 6. Eloise and I have both gone 10. The answer last year was 8, I think. And I have a feeling there's going to be a couple of extra ones because of the heat. I can see a couple of the men's matches just turning into like ace fests because nobody can be bothered to run, so it's just ace, 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 sir, game, ace, 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 game. Because, that's pretty much what happened when we got Isna Mahout all those years ago, was it was just so hot and 2 big servers just couldn't be bothered to run around too much, so... either of you have any comments other than you guessed a number?
I didn't think there would be a lot in the small bit of research time that I had to have a look at potential stats for stuff like that. So I just went, it doesn't seem like there'll be a lot. Because am I right in thinking it goes to a final set tiebreaker? Is it 12-12 or is it
No,
6-6?
it's at 6-6. That was
Oh,
scrapped.
okay.
The 12-12 came in for like 2 or 3 years, and then the tennis bodies were just like, no, all the slams are going to have final set tie breaks, which is very disheartening because I used to enjoy a good, 15-13 in the 5th.
I remember watching the great Nadal. Was it the Nadal Federer final where it went to a final set tiebreaker and ended up going into like the game 30, like game 60 of the thingy. It was like 30 or like 30-28 or wherever it was. It was like a really long final tiebreak there. I could be over exaggerating the numbers slightly, but I do remember watching a final between them two where it went on and on and on, and it was great.
I mean, the one I remember was a 9-7. So, that doesn't.
Unless I'm thinking of like a semi-final then or something like that. But there was, I definitely do remember watching like a very late stage Wimbledon game that ended up going on till like 9 o'clock in the evening because it was still.
Yeah, that was the 9-7.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was. I thought I must be misremembering. I thought it went a lot higher than that.
No, it's the events because of weather. The event stretched over 7 hours, ending just before nightfall, and Nadal won his first Wimbledon 9-7 in the 5th. It was 6-4, 6-4, 6-7, 6-7, 9-7.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm trying to think.
But yeah, I do I can kind of understand why they've potentially added like the final set tiebreak to maybe prevent games overrunning or going too long and killing the players essentially when they might like have a game in like a day or two later.
I get it.
So like I do get it, but obviously from a from a viewer standpoint, where you have the potential for a long final set, it can be quite fun.
I will say what you're possibly thinking of. The year after that final, Federer played Roddick in the final, and that went to 16-14 in the final set.
That might be the game I'm thinking of. I
Yeah.
thought it was. I'm probably getting the two games. Like, I'm merging the two games basically into one.
Yes, that's fair. Anyway, let's go to injuries. So, Eloise's area of expertise in tennis. Let's see what have we gone for. Okay. Well, I went for 8 because last year the answer was 8. So I just decided to match it. Sean, you seem to be thinking that no one's going to get injured.
I mean, they're professional athletes. If they get an injury, grow up.
Sure.
Like,
Oh,
you're being paid money to do this. I mean, surely you could work for a bit of pain, right?
grow up.
I mean, if they tear a pectoral, maybe not. I'll let
Well,
them
yeah.
off on that one.
Grow up
Like-
might become the episode title. Just a picture of Dimitrov from last year with grow up.
Not again.
Yeah, like just play on.
Eloise, you've gone in the middle.
I'm just remembering how the review episode of this the thumbnail was literally Dimitrov in his hospital bed.
Yes, some of my finest work, I think.
But I just guessed the number.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Final chair. Predict the umpires for either of the two finals matches. Oh, Sean and I matched. And Eloise is going for Maria Cicek.
I'm gonna be brutally honest. I have no idea of any names of umpires. I just googled a list of umpires that are in there and thought normally at Wimbledon they're a Great British umpire in the final or like throughout the tournament mainly.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the one that had done the most like slam finals. So I thought then if they're gonna choose anyone, he'd probably be the most likely one.
Not sure that's true. I think Alison. I forget her surname. Alison Thompson. I think she's.
When I say this was the most, it was. I looked at it for about 20 seconds. He'd done about four slam finals and was like, that will do.
Yeah, I've gone Kyothevon because Alison, whatever her name is, did one last year, and I don't know whether she'd do 2 in a row. See. Right, now we come on to the doubles. So this was kind of interesting. I won't explain the exact scoring, but we discovered like the draw only came out today. So I created this last night expecting certain things to be available. They haven't done the mixed doubles draw yet. So we are literally playing psychic with the mixed doubles draw because we don't even know the seeds. We don't know who's going to turn up at all. So we are completely guessing, whereas the others, at least we have an idea. So let's see where we've gone. Okay, well we've all gone for the same. We've all gone for Heliovara and Patton, who are the number 1 seeds in the men's. Won it 2 years ago, and Sean has jokered it. So Sean's Joker is not going to have as big an impact as it might have otherwise, because if he does get his Joker points, we're all still getting points.
Unfortunate, but I kind of thought you would also pick that, and I didn't know where to kind of put it. I saw they were the number one seeds, and like I think their doubles rankings, the two of them is like 1 as a partnership.
Yeah.
So,
oh no, they are
like,
very good.
It seemed like the safest option on this sheet.
Yeah. No, I get you. Women's doubles, you two have also gone for the same, which Siniakova and Townsend, who are they the number one seeds or are they the reigning champs?
That was my strategy. Just go with number one seeds because I have no clue what I'm talking about with doubles. Number one seeds. There we go.
Fair enough.
I didn't know if they were the number one
They were.
seeds.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew they were
I
either the
thought they
number
were
one
the third.
seeds.
I thought they were the third seeds.
Unless they were. I thought they were the first seeds.
Wimbledon.
I mean, let's
the
double
entry
check.
list.
Maybe they won last year. It was one or the other.
I'm looking at the seeds now. Oh no, they are the one seeds. Okay, no, there was a. I was looking at Danilinia and Krunic because I just thought it would be quite cool if a Kazakhstani player won the Wimbledon title. And that's why I was getting confused. No, they are the number one seeds.
Okay. I have gone for Perez and Shoes. I actually don't know how to say her name. I've never heard it pronounced. So, my logic is, I didn't want to go for the number one seeds because that felt boring to just do all number one seeds. And then there's a load of combinations where I think of them more as, at least one of them as more of a clay player than grass, which I know matters less on grass. And then I was going to go for Kenin and Ostapenko, and then just as I was thinking about it, Ostapenko got injured. So I went for Perez and Shuz because they at least have some like record on grass. And then for mixed doubles, I've gone for Aravalo and Shui because they tend to play together quite a lot as a mixed doubles partnership. And I'm not convinced either is necessarily going hugely far in the men's or women's doubles, which means they'll have time to focus on the mix. That's my logic. Eloise, you've gone for Verbeek and Siniakova.
Because they won last year.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, reasonable. Although
that is the only.
I'm trying to remember if it's Siniakova that said she's not doing the mix. But I could be wrong. And then Sean, you've gone for Irani and Babasori.
Yeah, because I was looking at like the list of mixed doubles winners.
Mm-hmm.
And they've won 4 of the last 7.
Yeah.
So that seems to be a decent way of a decent one to back if they're gonna be in it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, and then we've just got to come on to bonuses. So first of all, let me get the bonus wages up. See what we've gone for. Sean's gone 3 and 9. Eloise gone 3 and 6. I've gone 4 and 8. Eloise back in her not very aggressive era. Shocked that she hasn't started going for 1 and 2 again.
Hey, so 2 and 3, thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. Beg your pardon. Right, let's have a look at the bonuses. Okay. Right. We'll start with Sean's. Sean has said that Sinner will break his racket during a game.
I had no idea what to put for my bonus, so I just thought someone will get angry and smash their racket at some point during the tournament. Maybe. Like, I don't know. So I just thought, I don't know who, but I just thought that might happen. I've seen it happen before, so I just thought I'd put it and then just put some name to it. I genuinely had no idea what to put for this.
I don't know that I remember seeing Sinner ever smash a racket.
As I said,
don't think he does that.
I don't think it will be Sinner. I just couldn't think of a person to put for it, so I just put Sinner because that was the first name that came to my mind.
Okay, so
It's not a thing of I actually think this will happen. It was I don't know. I know it. I'm gambling on somebody breaking their racket, but I thought that might be a bit too vague to put for a bonus.
Well,
So I
mean, you could have done it, but we'd have definitely gone, well, someone will, so you get no points.
So I thought if I'm gonna put that, I might as well throw a name out there. So yeah, and Sinner was just the one that popped to my mind. If he was, I don't know, but yeah, just Sinner was the first name that came to my mind when doing it. I was thinking of putting like a numerical quantity on the amount of broken rackets, but I thought that might be slightly harder to track across the tournament for scoring and points wise. I thought I'll put a name instead of a numerical quantity as well.
I mean, I don't know what to.
So,
yeah.
All I'm gonna say is he doesn't technically. Sean hasn't put breaks his racket out of rage. It could just be a simple technical fault, and his racket breaks, and he has to swap it.
Okay.
Which is harder to track because that is a regular thing that happens. Yeah, that's the only. Because I'm like, if it was breaks a racket, isn't there a Russian player that does it very often?
Oh yeah, Medvedev does it every.
Medvedev, okay, yeah, that was the one I had in my head that would 100% break a few rackets. He very much does that.
He'll break a racket a match, even if he's doing well.
Yeah.
I don't know how to score this because I don't know enough about Sinner's. I don't think he often breaks rackets, but I'm not sure. I almost just want to do a straight double of both. Call it a 50-50 and hope for the best, because I genuinely don't know. Do you have any objection to that, Eloise? Because I don't know how to fucking mark this.
I really don't know. I think I'm trying to have a look if he has like destroyed a racket before. Yeah.
I feel like if he did, it would probably have been reported by someone or something. Because someone of his profile in the game, I feel like that would just be a talking point, even if it wasn't really a talking point.
I've seen him break rackets because he's hit the ball too hard, but not often.
I mean, that would technically fall under this.
Yeah, no, that would count. But I'm just, I just kind of want to, I don't feel confident enough to give you big points, but I don't want to be really mean and try and mark it down because I don't know. I just don't
I feel like double's fair.
Because double's what I usually say is a 50-50, so however, I will say you fucking better be the one keeping track of this, because I am not watching all of his rackets for the 2 fucking weeks.
I will get every game on what I will watch every single one of his games now and track it. And if I see it, I will screen. I'll get OBS up and record.
Yeah, you fucking better. So yeah, with that in mind, you can double 3 or you can double 9.
I am going to double 3 purely because I'd feel wrong if I went high on this and because I genuinely didn't know what to do and just threw something in there.
Fair enough. Right, Eloise, you've gone 5 or more British players will win at least a game. I'm assuming this is in singles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't write singles because there wasn't enough space when I wrote it.
That's fine.
But-
I just wanted to double check because I'd give you basically no points if we were including doubles. Right.
Because of pattern involved.
I'm gonna count how many I think might before
I reheated my bonus from last time we did this. I had 8.
What? That's what you predicted last time.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll have a look of how. Did I get it last time? I don't know.
Don't think so.
So.
Is this across both men's and women's?
Yes.
Okay.
Singles. Men's and women's singles. Oh, I might have got it last time. So I shouldn't have. Okay.
I thought you were one off it. Is my vague memory, but I could be wrong.
I think I just got it last time, but I feel like this year there's less opportunities.
See, I don't know that I agree. I've just counted how many I reckon there'll be, and I reckon it might be 8 again.
Oh, fuck's sake. Should have put 8.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, there's enough that I think, especially in the men's, like in the men's, I can see there's an outside chance for Pennington Jones against Nakashima, but I'm not counting that. I think Nori beats Zheng. I think Tarvet has a chance against Rindenek, but like, Billy Harris is playing against Russian Brain Kachanov. I doubt it, but Ferry, I think, has a good chance against Joel. Draper, we said, has a chance against Fritz. Choinsky, I think, may well beat Capriva. Fernley, I think, has got a chance against Mickelson. And I don't know enough about Wendelken to know how he might do against Royer. And then in the women's, I think Raducanu probably wins her first game. I don't think Mimi Shu does. Harriet Dart, I think, has a chance because if Ostapenko's still injured, Harriet Dart will face a lucky loser, and I think that gives her a chance. Dudney, no. Klugman, I doubt, but yeah. I think Francesca Jones stands a chance against Parry. I'm trying to find it. I think Swan has a chance against Begu, and I think Bolter probably beats Grant. Like, I'm not saying all of those will happen, but I think there are lots that have a chance to happen. I'm kind of.
So I rushed it because I didn't have much time, and I just thought I didn't get it last time, but I did.
Yeah.
I'm now tempted to ask if I can change it, but then that's probably unfair.
I mean, I let you change one that you misread. I think letting you change one that was a conscious decision after letting you change one that you misread. Go on, fair. Fine, fuck it. How many do you want?
I was gonna do 8, but I don't know if that feels fair now. Leave it as it is. You can just not give me many points. That's fine.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, look, a 50-50 would be double. I think it's more likely to happen than a 50-50. probably want you to take the low, therefore, so slightly skew it on the low. I'd be prepared to try and get you to go for the low, to be like double the 3 to 6, but 6 would only be 9. Sean, any objection?
I'm okay with that. I'm more happy to take your lead on that purely because I would not know the likelihood and outcome of that. And if you're saying you think it could be 8, that gives her 3, maybe 4 leeway,
Yeah.
depending on if an upset comes about as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't mind that. I think skewing towards the low offer is the better one anyway.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. You can double 3 or make 6 into 9 or lose.
Low.
Low. Okay. Uh, so both of you are taking 3, a potential 3 down for 6 up. So mine is Serena goes further in singles than in both doubles, because I'm assuming that she may well try and play the women's doubles and the mixed. I will say, because this will probably get me slightly fewer points saying this, but I'm going to balance it out with this. I just didn't know if I'd have enough room to type it all in. If she goes the same distance, then I'm calling that a win for me, not a win for you. I.e., if she makes the third round of the singles and also makes the third round of either or both doubles, that's she basically has to not go further in either doubles competition than she does in the singles.
I've got one question to that.
Which is?
What happens if she doesn't play any doubles?
I mean...
Because then technically her just turning up to singles is her going further.
Well, she's down to play with Venus in the women's.
Is it? Didn't
Yeah.
look at
Yes.
I couldn't see the...
Yeah, she's definitely paired with Venus in the women's. So
Are they a wild card entry then?
yes.
So
Yes, I see that. Yeah, they are down wild card 64th.
are you telling me that if she loses her first round game and she loses in doubles immediately, you
Yeah.
still get points?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I don't like that.
No, I feel like if you're saying she's going further,
Look, I just
you
typing
back
out a
your
long description was going to be difficult in those boxes. I'm making it clear what I meant. She will not go further in doubles than she does in singles.
Yeah, and you were right, as that will dock you points.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah, but I'm just saying my point of why I reacted the way I did, because it makes it.
No, I didn't
think
realize she was down to play doubles with Venus.
I think it's very, very unlikely that she loses in the first round of all 3. I think...
I'm not thinking that she loses in the first round of all 3, but I don't necessarily know how far her and Venus go in the women's doubles.
So she'll focus on the next.
The problem here is I don't think she goes very far in the singles compared to you two. I don't think she goes very far. Full stop. And then I don't know how good she's going to do in doubles, because I don't know how good Venus is at the moment.
In doubles, decent.
I mean, just in general, I I haven't seen Venus play in years.
Oh, in singles, well, Venus is shit, but in doubles, she's still wrong.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because she has half the court that she doesn't have to run across.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
I do think
I don't know how to score this.
I am a little bit slightly. If I'm going off of the way I predicted it, she loses in the third round in the singles.
Yeah.
All right.
Obviously, if we're going off of how Z's, if we're gonna base it off of how Z's predicted her, then we've got a basis in the fact that he thinks she's getting to the semis in the singles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have put it on that. He wouldn't have put it on that sheet if he didn't think it was going to happen.
I told you. My gut tells me Serena's having a good singles. I'm going all in on
it. If she's gonna have a good singles, then is she gonna focus on either doubles? Because
I think she'll focus on
surely
the
that
women's.
will.
Because she wants to play with Venus. She might not focus on the mixed. I'll give you that. But
It also depends on who she plays with in the mixed. Obviously, at the time of recording this, we don't know who she's playing with in the mixed and whether it's somebody that she would want to play with a little bit more, which also has to kind of come into consideration here.
Does one of them normally play with TFO, or is that an old thing?
I don't know.
I vaguely remember that.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry.
How likely do you think this is gonna be, Eloise? Do you think there's a good chance? Do you think it's a 50-50? The question is, you're thinking she's losing first round of singles, right?
Yeah.
So, if she's losing in the first round of singles, then what is the likelihood that then she also loses in the first round of both doubles?
Probably not. I feel like she'd at least win a game in doubles.
Okay. Do you feel like it's a 50-50 then?
The furthest I think she could go is the fourth round.
In singles?
Yes.
Okay.
So that would then mean
we need a quarterfinal in the doubles.
Yeah. Which I don't think's happening. So is it 50-50? I don't know if I feel comfortable giving it any more than that. But I don't know how unlikely this is because it's guessing how someone would do based off of predictions that everyone has very different opinions of.
Yeah. It's a
very nightmare-y one to score.
Yeah. Do you then want to base it off of a 50-50 but skew it more towards the lower? So
always,
say like
always skew it towards the lower.
So like I don't know, say like so what have we got? So if you're 50-50 in it, it's if you're 50-50 in it, you're 8-4 and 16-8. So did you want to say go to like if you're wanting to push him more towards the lower, did you want to say do a 13-8 and then a 10-4 or because I feel like if you're doing 13, you're then gonna have to go a little bit lower on the lower one because it's too close. Would you say 14-8, 9-4?
Sure.
Are you happy with that?
9-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, all right. I'll do the 9-4. I think I've wagered enough on her being good in singles that I probably should at least hold back a little bit. Okay. 9-4.
It's
done.
that one was. I still don't know how I feel on that. Just, I think I might have been a little bit more. I would have maybe if I'd have known the mixed doubles were out, like the seedings and the partners, to maybe have a little bit more of an understanding and idea, maybe of who she's playing with, if she's playing in the mixed doubles or not.
That's fair. I tell you what, I think there is a genuine chance that if he gets knocked out early, she'd consider playing the mixed with Draper. I do think that's a possibility because
I think I do think that Draper could potentially go into the mix to build up a bit of fitness.
that would be one.
If
of my
you're saying he's
predictions.
come back if he's just coming back from a long-term injury, given who he's got in the singles, like who he's been drawn in the singles, is he potentially willing to wait to get a bit of game sharpness until the next sort of event after Wimbledon?
Yeah.
Or is he going to want to play? And if he's not going to be progressing far in singles, he can't do either of the doubles or the mixed doubles because that's been drawn already. Like he can't do the men's doubles because that's already been drawn.
Mhm.
So his only other option then would be to sort of chuck in a late application for the mixed doubles in the hopes that he gets a spot in there.
Yeah, I think it's possible, but you know, I'm fine with the 4-9. But yeah, it's been a mammoth episode, 2 hours 20, but we had a lot to predict. I just wish we hadn't had to do it in the middle of a heat wave because I am a puddle. But yeah, obviously, I imagine you're probably seeing that we've posted this, well, some point the weekend before Wimbledon. So you'll probably see a review episode in about, I don't know, 3 weeks' time, maybe. But yeah, Eloise, thanks for putting in so much effort researching. Sean, thanks for turning out. And I will see you both very soon. As for you at home, remember to always be big mystics, not big mistakes. Bye!